the principles of sustainability. I believe some of you have heard about sustainability already, right? But maybe in your field. What about that? Have you heard about sustainability? No? No. What is your background again? Design. Oh, fine arts. I see. Yeah. Okay. Now I will talk. I think everything related to ourselves are related and related to sustainability. Now, this is the definition of sustainability. Brundtland report by United Nations. Sustainable development is development that meets the needs of the present without compromising the ability of the ability of future generations to meet their own needs. Meaning what? Meaning that whatever we do shouldn't really affect your future generation. Okay, like when we use the car when we use gasoline, right? The gas or oil, one day it can be gone. It can be all depleted, right? Because we have limited reserve under the earth, right? We have very limited. And yesterday I just had a meeting among energy professors. We calculate the energy reserve in Asia, not ASEAN, ASEAN. In ASEAN, but 10 countries around Southeast Asia. And the reserve divided by yearly use, we have only 14 years for oil reserve if we use our own resources. But now we import, of course, we import from Dubai or Middle East, but we don't import. I think Malaysia has a lot of resources. I think Malaysians have signed agreement with some other countries, so we couldn't get to buy oil from Malaysia. We have to buy from Middle East. Anyway, but the other country and all over the world, when we look at reserve all over the world, divided by what we use every year, we have about 46 years left for oil. See? What happens if we use up all oil? No more car you run. We use Tesla. We have nothing about oil, okay? Our business will be shut down. And we don't want nuclear, of course. But if we have no choice, maybe we have to. But in the future, if uranium sold out, we have no nuclear. Yeah, I know Japan, why they go for nuclear, because it's difficult to find other resources. That's why they have to go for nuclear, even though they are in the earthquake zone. But I think Japan can use energy from underground. You can use geothermal energy, the heat source from the earth, to generate electricity. Anyway, that is the idea of sustainability. We need to do something without burden our future generations. Like we try to use energy from the sun, from others, or we use mass transportation rather than by car if possible. The car, believe it or not, if we run the car and we stop on the red light traffic without turning off for 10 minutes, it consumes about 1 liter of oil. And that's why new models of cars will shut down automatically. Also in Finland too, right? Also in Italy is a law. If you don't turn off, you can get fined. You know, if you don't turn off the car while stopping into the red light traffic, you can get fined. Yeah. So this is some ways that we could help on the environment. Okay, this is about sustainability. The rest you can read is quite similar. So, the three principles of sustainability. Three principles. Whatever we do, whatever projects we do, whatever activities, even design, we need to think about these three bottom lines, okay? First is social. Is what we do help for better social, and is what we do can help to improve economics and improve environment. Like what? I need to give an example. An example is maybe our KMUTT campus, the main campus. Okay, every month, every week, they organize market. They organize marketplace so that the local people can come to sell their products. We have better social with our neighborhood. And students, what about students? They like it because they have variety of choices of food and products at the KMUTT campus. Economic, yes. The local earn more income from special activities. That is sustainable. What else? Environment. KMUTT has no foam policies. Like what? Because before that they use foam, they use plastic as a container. So now we have no foam policies. Like every shop who want to come for the market or in the canteen, they have to use biodegradable containers or packaging. Therefore, it's safe for environment. And not only that, we also have the waste bank. Waste is a waste, solid waste, plastic waste, recycled waste, many waste bank. While students can sell their waste, their papers, or office can sell their unused paper, or they can bring their own plastic cans or aluminum cans from home to sell to the waste bank of the university. They earn more income and less waste. Better environment. This is sustainable at the university level and community level. Any questions? So this is the three bottom lines. And the rest, they said, well, not only three, social, economic, and environment are not enough. There must be technology and political to enforce. Of course, nothing wrong. Somebody said, oh, we need cultural, we need social, legal, whatever, derivative from this one. Actually, you can just focus on these three bottom lines, okay? Maybe once a month. I would like to ask you, when you were with Philips, is there any examples for sustainability at Philips?
Programs that we try to recycle back those relamping fluorescents, and also on the gear. Let's say we replace the new electronic ballast, we get back the magnetic, then we send back to the local small industry to take away the coil for another use.
Very nice. I think fluorescent lamp is very serious problem in Thailand. When the bulb is broken, they have nowhere to deposit or to sell or to destroy or whatever. Now is a problem. And to invest one plant to treat with the fluorescent is very expensive. My German friend, he's thinking to establish a manufacturer to extract chemical from fluorescent lamp. But only lamp alone in Thailand is not enough. In manufacture, he has to import from Indonesia and Malaysia to do that in order to have a good return on investment. Very good. And what about you? Is there any example from your previous university about sustainability?
They program like over here. They have weekend markets for people to come and sell.
I see.
And they usually have biodegradable containers as well.
Very good. Any example from your work experience or not about sustainability project or anything? Not yet, not yet. Anyone would like to share your experience? Salina?
In Finland, we are trying to be very practical and ecology, but I think that the problem is that we are not admitting that Finland is a very small country. There is very few people. There's only 5 million people in Finland. So we are thinking that it's not our responsibility to make an effort because we are so small country and we have very much nature in there. So it's kind of like forgotten thing. Of course, the government is working with the environmental and sustainability things, but people are usually forgetting.
Yeah, I think I noticed in Europe countries, the media, they are all aware, and in many publications, in newspaper, magazine, website, they are aware of the environment, and it really helps educating people. Okay, I move on. Okay, sustainability. There are many scales of sustainability. One is a city scale or town scale. Okay, we look at the big scale, and when we have good management of the town, yeah, or community, it can help to balance out the environment and the living and working. This is like in Munich, before and after. Before that, it was very dense. No place to live, and very dense, and now the government try to decentralize the city to outside so that people can go work not only in the town. The town's growth. And I think to give you better view, this is an example of New York City. When we do something about cities, actually these are their plans to make sustainable New York. In what dimension? They look at the housing, people should have a good house and affordable and sustainable housing to live. Expand sustainable transportation choices with high quality. Not only in Bangkok or in town, they spread around for good accessibility for everywhere. Japan already have good train transportation all over the country, and Finland too, right? Yeah. The transportation is important. In our country, still need more development because CO2 emit from our country is 36% by transportation. Parks, we need more park. New Yorker should be 10 minutes walk to the park for better quality. So this is about environment as well. Therefore, if you have piece of land and the community, we shouldn't encourage to build more building. I think to preserve the green area for health and environment and for ecology, for diversity is better, not for the people. They try to reduce hardscape and put more softscape on trees all around us within only 10 minutes walk. Energy, to reduce energy consumption and use clean energy. Brownfield is contaminated field, to clean up all contaminated land. Sometimes when we want to buy a piece of land, we don't know the history. Sometimes it used to be mined before the mine. It emits very bad toxic, either it can be radiated or the water can chemical can sink into the earth. So brownfield, if we have brownfields, we should develop into better places. Like in Bangkok, sometimes they don't have place to throw the trash. They throw it like on road. It's like a brownfield, it's no good. We need to develop those area into the better one and find proper place to treat with the waste or garbage. Okay, waterways, to improve quality of waterways, and water supply, and to achieve a better air quality. It's all related, air quality. If we have more cars, we have poorer quality of air, okay? And if we put a lot of condensing unit outside, if we turn on air conditioning, we dump the heat out to the environment, right? And therefore temperature will be higher. My friend used to take temperature to measure in downtown Bangkok, Sathorn Road. She measured during the daytime, around 1 meter above the road surface. Guess how many degrees Celsius? Yes, exactly, 45 degrees Celsius above the road surface. See, without green or with a lot of hardscape or hard pavement, the global temperature will be rise up. Okay? So this is about air quality. Solid waste, of course, we need to reduce our waste as much as possible, meaning consume as you need only, not too much. And reduce the climate change emission over 30%. This is New York. And to link to your assignment that you are going to do this semester, to think about innovative district. So whatever you think to do to help community, you should think about sustainability, right? To do something to make community earn more money, better life, social, and better environment. Do they live better? How do they commute to work? Where do they work? How do they eat? So we could observe and see how we can live better. And this is an interesting comparison between people who live in suburban and who live in urban. This is a study of the problems of urban sprawl. Urban sprawl is like Bangkok, Spain, Madrid, like big cities, Tokyo. Also, building big city has expanded in the horizontal directions, so it invades the green area without having dense or high rise or in the vertical. What happened? If we develop the town that way, it reduces green area, and what else? The cost, this is per household that the government has to pay per household. This is in Spain. This is if they live in the urban. This is suburban almost. I think about double, almost double. Like what? More than double. For example, the cost of course, when we have the house in suburban rather than in the town, condominium, they have to put the road, more road. They have to do more pavement for the road, for storm and wastewater treatment, for water, for sidewalks. So a lot of cost for that. Even, okay, library or parks. So they have to invest a lot of money for the town that has expanded on horizontal. So this is to show you an example of the cost that is hidden that we never know. Waste treatment. Okay, this is in neighborhood scale. In neighborhood scale, I think the concept of living would change in the future because now many houses they live in individual. We have our own kitchen, we have our own sewage systems, we have our own guest rooms, but no guests sometimes. The guests come every once a year, for example, we pay for that. But now the future living for the neighborhood, I see the development that sometimes we don't need to take care of unused spaces or very few use of the space. Like for neighborhood scale, sometimes neighborhood can share the guest room, for example, can share the party space, can share laundry. Why do we have to, every house in condominium have to pay for oven or washing machine? Like that, it's costly, and we use very once in a while, for example, for partying space. So some space can be shared in the neighborhood scale. It reduces the construction cost and operation cost as well, right? So that one time when you have to buy condominium, you can buy maybe less footprint. So less construction, less materials. It can save the environment. And by sharing this, people can help to take care of the community. That is the idea. For the neighborhood, sometimes wastewater is expensive. To share is much better. And in building scale, like how do we design the building to be less energy consumption? Even in building component scale, this is solar cell integrated with the blind, for example. And smaller than that is maybe the graphic scale. Like this is in building, I don't have smaller than this. Graphic scale, I want to design a website. Okay, the black background or white background, which one is safer, energy saving?
Black.
The black. Why? Because the black doesn't have the black background on the screen. On the screen, not the printing. On the screen, when we do the e-book, if we have white background, it uses more electricity to generate light on the computer. If the black background, it uses less brightness, less energy consumption. And you see, everybody has the notebook. If you reduce that, how much energy we can save? So this is a more like a smaller scale. Okay, so whatever we do, we think about it. And building component scale. Okay, this is a resource efficiency that we need to think about. Energy, already land, less material, less water, and less waste. I could go quickly. This is the energy consumption rises up and will be more up. And these are the source of energy. Still more on the coal, crude oil, natural gases. On today, instead of crude oil, the majority is natural gas. Depending on countries too. In China, majority is coal because they have a lot of coals. But some other countries ban the coal. Why? Because the coal generates fog or pollution. Land consumption. Okay, we should really develop to have more open area and less hardscape. This is the point. I move. Okay, when we design, we know that our lives change many times. Of course, we have more people. Sometimes we have less people. We grow. So this is the design for adaptability or design for changes. Design for fixing. Sometimes if we want to change, we have to destroy and then build again. It's quite resource expensive, right? If we design for adaptability, meaning what? If we want to add more rooms, we should spare space for the duct, for example, or design as a modular so that we can change the modular like that. Design for adaptability. We could install the water supply or the waste duct or spare the duct for future expansion. or about 20% that we should spare for future expansion. Or when we design condominium, for example, the interior, we could design the building has the same but can be converted. For example, this can be 3 bedrooms, this is 2 bedrooms, but without hurting. We can just add up, destroy the wall. So think about design typology or design for flexibility. Sometimes lighting, for example. When we design a product, we should think about modular, like we use maybe 5 components for the lighting fixture. And then when we want to develop a new product, we could utilize some of the modular here for the new product, so that when we develop a new, we don't have to unuse all the existing we can utilize existing one. Same as like graphic or interior or furniture can be like movable like this, flexibility. Materials, okay. Materials involved with everybody. We should find a very local material within maybe 200, 100 kilometers, easy to find. It can be reused or renewable, is good. Low embodied energy. Embodied energy, what does it mean? It means the energy that is used to produce the material. That is called embodied energy. Embodied energy includes from the beginning, like cement, we have to explode the mountain and then bring it to the manufacturer and have to pound it into the small gravels, and then we put into the oven and then we pound it again. So that kind of thing. And then including transportation to the site. That is embodied energy. A lot of energy for the cement. That is embodied energy. If you use material like natural material, we could reduce the embodied energy. Steel has a very huge embodied energy, steel, because steel we have to use a lot of energy to burn it and to melt, blah, blah, blah. But steel has a very long life and can be reused, recycled. So we have to think about materials in the whole process, from beginning to operation to demolition. We shouldn't look at the price at the beginning. Sometimes it looks expensive, but if you look at the whole life, it's cheap. So we have to think about things, everything as the whole life cycle. 20 years, 30 years depends. Okay. CO2 neutral, meaning that less CO2. Okay, let me give you an example of bamboo. Bamboo material is CO2 plus, I think, not plus, CO2 minus, or neutral material. Why? Because bamboo, if you use bamboo for flooring, for example, for flooring, bamboo, when it has 5 years old, we can cut for furniture because it's old enough. Now it can be used, and when it grows from 0 day to 5 years, it doesn't produce CO2, rather it helps to absorb the CO2, right? When producing bamboo. When we grow bamboo, we absorb the CO2. And then when we cut and when we produce for the material, we spend some money, energy to produce material. It's very little. And when we use it, it can be last maybe 10 years. So it's very great material. Compared to teak. Teak wood, we need to wait until about 50 years in order to be able to use. We can use only 10 years, but what happens if the teak is 10 years and we use termite can eat it. But 50 years, the teak, when it's old enough, it will give out the chemical that termites doesn't eat. So we have to wait until it's old enough to cut the teak. 50 years is so long. we cannot do that because the human growth is much more นะคะ so bamboo is really popular right now. It's quite green material นะคะ okay we should avoid the imported material. Why? Because imported material they have to put onto the ship, onto the boat and ship it to here. The cost of shipping, the cost of gas for the boat is a lot, or the cost for plane transportation is a lot. Alright? So it's good sometimes you can do long distance learning with screen. So, okay, we should avoid high embodied energy and high CO2 material. Renewable energy, timber, okay. Sometimes often compete with steel. Qualities by comparison, sometimes we do between wood or timber vs steel. The timber weight less. Thermal conductivity is better than steel because wood doesn't conduct the heat and it gives very warm feeling. It's quite good thermal elasticity and strength to weight ratio. So compared with steel is quite compatible for small to medium buildings. And that's why we can see many wood structure development in Japan, right? In architecture in Japan or even in Scandinavia, right? But I don't know how they cope with the fire resistance for wooden structure building.
Takes care of it.
They take care. What about in Japan?
I don't know.
You don't know me.
They might use some chemical and to
Yeah.
take out this
For fire resistance, yeah. In Thailand, they have the law.
security system of fire.
I don't know how many minutes. For panel, maybe 60 minutes, but I don't know for structure how many minutes. Yeah, but we can see. Timber. Sometimes timber can be glued together, we call glue. Or sometimes we can put the glue and put it together like this. These are like reused wood, and then we glue, we pack the small pieces together into the wood like this. Or fiberboard, fiber cement. So there are many forms that you could use renewable energy or renewable materials. Fiber cement board is like the fiber plus cement packed into the board. Waste. The waste issue is resource destruction. The issue for the waste is like this. Whatever we think about, for example, when we have event, like when you organize event, we need to think about the media that can be reused. Many times the organizer for event, they do it temporarily and after that they throw away. Really wasteful. So we need to think about something that we can do like a modular plug-in and we can unlock, and then we keep it safely. And when we want to use it again, we can use and reassemble it again, like that. So, like building or like stadium in Abu Dhabi that they design, the stadiums can be reassembled, assemble and disassemble and reassemble again in other countries. Because many times the Olympic, when it happened, they build stadiums and never use it like big event again. See, in Brazil or in Abu Dhabi, very few people they never use it. And therefore, to think about the reuse, recycle is better. So that is to have less waste, to avoid it. Sometimes we reuse the building, we renovate it rather than we destroy it. And let's talk about the water. So we know that now some countries have problems with limited water, but we don't have. We have plenty of water, but one day we will have limited water, right? Because the ice in the North Pole is melting. You are in the North Pole, right? You've been to the glacier on the north.
Yeah.
Have you seen changes in the glacier melting?
No, actually not until yeah, can't see those.
Oh, still cold, maybe not melting. So the polar bear still okay. Yeah. So we try to save polar bears, okay, the earth, okay, and so water can be recycled, can be reused. We can collect the rainwater, of course. We can collect the rainwater. The rainfall rate in Bangkok is average about 1.2 meter per year. 1.2 meter per year. But I don't know in your country. Do you know rainfall rate? No. Okay. So we could think about to save the rainwater like what? If we have the roof area 1 square meter and we collect it, in average per year we can get 1.2 cubic meters of rainwater. You know, if we have 1 square meter of the roof, because average rainfall is 1.2 meter, you know, per year in Bangkok. It depends. Maybe Malaysia has more. So this one we should collect water as much as possible. We should let the water seep into the ground as much as possible. Why? If you have hardscape, it doesn't seep in, and then later it will go somewhere and flood. See? So we need to think about it,นะคะเอาล่ะ This is the water use, growing more and more every year because more people growing. More water has been used in agriculture, like for corn, for cows, for animals, like that. Domestic used, industry used. What about in household? The majority use is showering and bathing. The second one is WC use. We could save this one by the rainwater. Like laundry, cleaning, washing. Yeah. Okay, of course you can select the water saving installation equipment, either maybe with the sensor, and then we could save water by planting, and also behavior. We could use gray water, rainwater use, for example. So, I skip this. And then to select material for landscape, we could do something that water can come in with, rather than all concrete, we could have some drain to sink into, and we can collect the water underground or treat it separately. We should treat the water from storm separately from the wastewater. Otherwise, it costs a lot. This is rainwater, and this is water from washing machine, toilet. This is rainwater. It can be used for either washing and toilet. Okay, that is an example. One more about solar resource efficiency. And in Thailand, this is not. I'm sorry, I didn't bring Thailand's climate. This is more in Stuttgart, in Germany. And my point for this slide is that we should understand the sun patterns even in urban. In urban, like if you notice, if you follow a street food guy, I used to follow 1 to 2 street food guys on the street. In the morning he's there, in the afternoon he's somewhere, because of first is the sun, second is the customers. Customers. Like in the morning it's shaded here, so he can put his street food here, is shaded, a lot of street food, and then in the afternoon somewhere there, because it's near that this building and it's shaded, so it's more like holistic approach. So the solar radiation has an effect on the behavior and on the planning. Like if you have more sun on the south, we can put laundry, or drying facilities on the south, for example, or put stairways on the south, for example, or garden to shade it. This is an example, but more details can be in the daylighting class. I will skip details. Okay, like this is zoning in the house. If it's hot here, some people in the Stuttgart, they want warm. They put the greenhouse here on the south, they can get warm in the winter, right? Like that. And I will skip detail here. Okay. Building component scale comes to lighting. For example, we should avoid light pollution. For example, if we are going to do light installation at night, for example, light installation at night, we should think about environmental friendly. Environmental friendly like recycled materials or energy efficient or something that is not glare. Not glaring into people's eyes so that it creates a good effect. And light pollution, meaning that light shouldn't spill on the sky. It should somewhere. Shouldn't put it up light onto the sky. Should put it up onto the object. What happens if we put light up onto the skies? It will create sky pollution because we cannot see the stars. Because the air will diffuse light and we couldn't see anything in the darkness. We see only light. So this is about light pollution. Now come to almost the end. Any questions? Any questions at all? Am I going too fast? And this is important about value. Because whenever we do, we should create a value for whoever we do the business. The value is more like, first is cultural value. The design of our lighting or our event or architecture. Does it reflect any cultural value at all? Does it create any local identity sense? Why we need to create local identity? I believe people sometimes they want a sense of belonging. They are proud of being here, being called X people, something like that, right? They should be proud of where they're from. So what is that design identity? We should also reflect onto that and relationship to the context. And more popular technique is the relationship to history. Relationship to history. Sometimes we don't even know, young generation don't even know what is the history of this place at all. By telling young generation, we could express by light or by design. by any signage or context or anything. This is a relationship to history and to design for the sense of place. This is a very good value, cultural value. It seems like priceless, but it's very good for our spirit. Any examples of your experience design for culture? I like to ask you, Salina. I like to ask you your graphic design, anything that you have ever designed for expressing culture.
Actually, in L we have to L is I don't know. Do you have L Thailand?
L, a kind of deer.
That's
Magazine.
L.
L, right? L.
Yeah.
E-L-L-E. L magazine.
Yeah, so we don't do that much local stuff in there, or we didn't do. I don't do that anymore. But when I did the graphic design was group from France, and France visual identity for the magazines are different definitions, but it's very universal.
I see.
So we didn't do that much local.
Okay. And Mr. Ko, have you ever done any lighting that express sense of belonging, sense of place, or sense of culture?
I just work with him about the Big Mountain Festival.
What festival?
Big Mountain.
Big Mountain Festival. Can you explain more?
That is it is a music festival organized by Grammy, and they try to use the sense of the life belonging to the Thai local community, which is a neon light of neon lights, colorful neon light, chit-chat once in a while, Ferris wheel with fluorescent light as a decoration to represent about the Thai local lighting for environmental lighting in second stage.
When is the next mountain again?
9, 10, I'm not sure what the date, but
Okay. If any work that you done, please share with the class. We will try to observe. Anything you would like to share? Cultural design.
To design nice installation that remind the people about it.
ที่อยู่หน้าอีกคนเนี่ยthe view. Very nice. Which like a living bridge.
Yes. That remind people actually I try to use the new material that represent the people generation, but transfer to the old culture.
I actually been to this installation. Oh, I kind of like the idea of the trying to play with the shadow and materials, right? They should really make the ambient darker so that I can see the shadow on the ground. The ambient, yeah. On the ground. Or in the garden. Oh, they should. I see they want to attract the people, but they should really control the ambient light. I know that this is a very nice work, but if they control the ambient light to be much darker, we can see the effect much better. Yeah. Excellent. It's a temporary. It's the Emportier, in front of Emportier. Where is it now? In your house, okay. big one. Okay, so the sense of culture with something new design, implementation, okay, the old pattern but new materials is quite a nice idea. Yeah, quite a nice idea. And okay, that is the cultural value. And the next is exchange value. Exchange value is like, okay, you could do like a sales price or, sales return on capital, more like economic. Okay. The third one is environmental value, like how it protects the environment, or if the process reduces pollution, or reduce ecological footprint, better health, reduce pollution, something like this. So, environmental value, meaning that the material you use, the way you assembly, those kind of things should reduce environmental impact. Okay. And then the fourth is social value. Social value, sometimes one installation can be both cultural and social because it's for the public. And the people can enjoy, social cohesion, inclusion, sense of community, reduce crime, and civic pride. So these are for the social value, whatever we do. For example, if we want to look at innovative districts around here, you should observe both daytime, nighttime, weekend, weekdays, so to see the use and to see some problems, or maybe to get some information about the health, the crime, or whatsoever, so we could have what we can do for the community. And the last is use value, which is more like function. Functional, like, is this one respond to the job satisfaction, or does it work for productivity, for profitability, or good healthcare recovery rates, or good retail footfall, whatsoever. Okay, more like a functional. Does it respond to function? This is more like in psychology. This is physiology. So you see, sustainability includes many dimensions, and the principles we need to think about: social, environment, and economics. The three things. And the last one is this. For example, so it doesn't have to be building. It could be any of your work, lighting installation, interior, design management, products, graphic design. So this is also fall into economic. Okay, whatever product you use, is it less environmental impact? Okay. Does it last longer? Can it be biodegradable? Or is it energy efficient for maintenance, operations? So, yeah, does it improve the well-being? Sometimes when we select some product, it has the glue. But some glue emit the bad toxic. Sometimes the glue emit the VOC or formaldehyde chemicals. So we have to really talk to many manufacturers, how we produce, what are the materials, components, something like that. Where it's from is quite important. Where it's from, where it's produced. So these are the introduction of the sustainability. And some of you will see the logo DGNB. I borrow the slides from DGNB that I developed. DGNB is the German Sustainable Council, German Sustainable Building Council, where I was one of the researchers to develop the German standard to adapt, not everything, to adapt what can be used in Thailand and tropical climates, what is not good for us, we delete, or what can be changed, I developed. And so I have some the slides for educate the people. It's like LEED, DGNB is like LEED certificate. LEED is leadership in energy and environmental design for architecture. But I don't know in IB, is there any green association? In IB, green association as a guideline for practice? Maybe yes, but maybe you don't know yet. You can figure out. Why? Because when you wanted to do maybe exhibition, there could be maybe advice. What can you do for green exhibition or green design? I think I have seen, but I don't know what organization did that green for exhibition, like making things in modular or whatever. And lighting, we use lighting, we use, we have ASHRAE and we have CIE and ISMA as a guideline for it. Okay, and this is a sick building syndrome, to avoid sick building syndrome. Sick building syndrome is the sickness that occurs due to the interior building environment, interior of this environment that make people sick. Poor design can contribute to absence in working. Like what? Like too cold, too humid, too dry, or whatsoever. It can, or bad quality of materials. Like instead of hard floor, they use carpet. Sometimes in hot and humid climate, when it gets wet, it doesn't dry up very quickly because it's humid. Sometimes it has a fungus inside and you get a bad, good bad for the health. Something like it's a sick building syndrome. Sometimes bad lighting can make us sick, feel sick because of the vibration or because of the glare. Yeah, that can make us sick as well. It really costs a lot. Why? Because when people absent from the sickness, by the sickness, it means the cost of the government to help for you, it costs even more. Okay. So we need to design for well-being environment and well-being for health for us. Any questions on principles of sustainability? Three items now we learn examples, we learn the different scales of sustainability, urban scale, neighborhood, building, and building component scales. We learn about resources, efficiency, water, materials, energy, more like principles. Any questions? Kun Amon,มีไหม Kun Amon, you are being quiet. No. You're being quiet. So, let's see. If no question, then I think today I finish with my lecture. And let me talk about next week. Next week เรามีอาจารย์จี which will be in urban. I don't have any homework for you, but you just have to think about it, for your everyday life. Whatever you do, whatever you eat, whatever you wear, is it helping? And when you are going to buy anything in shopping mall, do you have enough clothes already? If enough, please, we don't destroy the forest or another pair of shoes, or we don't destroy crocodile one more. So think about it, okay, in your everyday life, and apply into your own disciplines, and think about how you could apply for innovative district. And then next week.
Okay. Let me announce for some change in next week's schedule. Actually, next week the plan is changed. We have rearranged the time schedule that the module 5 for Ajahn Chamnan Diropat, can you see it? On module 5 will be on next week. So next week, module 5 will turn to be module 2.
Module 2 is going to be module 5.
Module 2, Ajahn session will be only one. Alright? That will be only one in the upcoming September 3rd. So, actually, next week is going to be design for architecture from module 5. We have rearranged just a little bit, but don't be worried because we will make sure that you will get to know every track that we have offered for you.
I think we could have less lecture and we could go to the side sometimes.
Yes, sometime. Maybe in the future, because this schedule is still tentative, right? And we will maybe reorganize, or changing according to what's needed, right? Okay. And today we have like Ajahn Uais to come up and give us some ideas about the sustainability. Thank you so much, Naka. And